Happy Monday. Happy Monday. But I tell you, we're not going to talk football today. We're not going to talk football. This was not a good weekend for football. Not going to talk football. No football conversation today. Hide the football, hide the helmets, hide the uniforms. No football talk. Oh, no. Next weekend will be better, we hope. Oh, gosh. Do y'all realize how long it's been since? I just asked my crew. I said, who was alive when McCaysville and Copper Hill flooded? None of them. So today I chose a bunch of stuff to go back, a bunch of old stuff, because none of my crew was alive when McCaysville and Copper Hill was underwater. I can remember walking into McCaysville First Baptist Church the first time I went there many years ago, and thinking, it smells a little bit musty in here. Well, it should have. It was full of water because the city flooded. They had this flash flood. It was crazy. Well, Thursday night and Friday night in Ball Ground, we didn't have a flash flood, but we had a whole bunch of water, and it changed the way things looked. Everything got muddy and cruddy, and I was like, oh no. We had a lot of rain, and there's something about the rain. We don't determine it. The good Lord does. He sends it when we need it. But this, I wish y'all could see this. This is when newspapers, you couldn't wait till the newspaper came out because you wanted to hear the news. You depended on the newspaper for news. Wasn't that cool? We had to wait till Wednesday when the paper came out to get the news. But now, where do you get the news? Off all that crazy stuff that is instantaneous. Everybody slaps it on Facebook, slaps it on X, slaps it on Instagram. Everybody slaps it everywhere. Can you imagine if there had been cameras and I guess there were iPhones. Were there iPhones in 1990? I don't think so. Probably not. We had pagers, I think, in 1990. But if the flood in McCaysville and Copper Hill had been during the time that we have all this instantaneous everything, can you imagine the video that would still be around today? Because all we have now are newspaper articles. And this is the Baptist church, and it was hit really hard. And it's crazy, y'all, because this was like water way up. This paper came out on February 22nd, 1990. And you think about that, 1990. How many years ago was that? A bunch. And it says, flood devastates Twin Cities. Boy, did it ever. It was a mess. The bank had money in it, had water in it. The restaurants had water in it. The shops had water in it. Everybody, people on the second floor of their buildings were hoping that the second floor didn't flood. It was that much water. Were you alive during that time? Do you remember that time? Because I can remember hearing about it. I didn't go up there when it happened, but I can remember hearing about it. And you think about it, do you know how long ago 1990 was? 35 years. It's crazy, y'all. It's like it was yesterday. What is happening to time? This weekend, I realized that time really does fly, because ETC has vaults and tons of old stuff. And this weekend, they showed one of my favorite groups. When we did We'll Have a Good Time, and it was a special that we did to honor our friend Hans Rufert, and this is Angel Spirit. So I found one of the CDs I have, and I thought, it's time we bring these girls. 2 of them have gone to be with Jesus, but one of them is still here. And I know that y'all love the music of Angel Spirit, and I know you love the songs they sang. So we're going to do a special. We're going to do a little tribute to Angel Spirit, because their spirit is still among us. Today we're going to share some old pictures. And when we look at these old pictures, there's some old pictures. And what started this, well, that's not the oldest one. That's really just a few years old. But when you think about it, every year we have a birthday, and that was a birthday I had at Laura May's. Well, Laura May's was the gathering place for all us old ladies. Well, Laura May's is closed now, and now it's going to, I think, open as, I heard it's going to be a Mexican restaurant. I'm not sure. To me, that just sounds so strange, because it's in an old historical home, and I would love to have a tea room or something for old ladies to gather. But whatever it is, I wish it great success, and I hope it works, because we love the building. We love it. Now, this is when we go to old stuff. Today is a day about old stuff. And I'm leading up to a reason. We're going to remember somebody who I teased her and teased her and teased her about being older than me, and she was older than me. And sadly, she went to be with Jesus, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But we talk about the old stuff we have. This weekend, I was kind of going through a bunch of stuff I have, and I thought, I have nobody in my family who wants any of this stuff I have, and I have generations and generations of stuff. So I guess I'm going to have to adopt somebody who likes antiques. I don't know what I'm going to do, because when I leave here and go be with Jesus, I'm not taking any of this stuff with me. When we look at the treasures that many of us have, when we're gone, nobody cares about our stuff. And it's really weird, because I have my great-great-grandma's stuff. You're going to hear a song today. That uniform is the reason this song was written. And you're going to hear it. You've heard it before, but you're going to hear it from the master who wrote it. And when we think about those days of war, when we think about World War II, when we think about the Korean conflict, when we think about Vietnam, it really seems to me like it was just a few days ago. It was many, many years ago. Now, you see that little thing? That's a valuable little commodity. And if somebody's lucky, they will get it left to them. And I love that little phone. And do y'all remember phones like that? It was heavy. If you hit somebody in the head with that, you could knock the lights out of them. But it's heavy. But I think that's the coolest thing. There are so many things that I look around, and I have all these treasures. Nobody wants them. Nobody cares about them. Nobody could give a less. And when I tell my kids, well, that was great grandma so-and-so and so-and-so, and they look at me like, well, I don't know those people. Why would I want their stuff? Well, because it's your family. Because I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to have a big estate sale before I go see Jesus. I don't know. Because kids today like throwaway furniture. They like that old stuff you buy in a box. Now we're talking about this because this is Georgia Marble Festival weekend, and do you know what the marble on that building is? And do you know that building is in Gilmer County, Georgia? And do you know that is Cherokee Rose? It is no longer mined, and if you have some pink marble, then you have a rare commodity because they don't even mine it anymore. I love pink marble. I love pink marble. I love marble anyway, but I love Cherokee Rose. I love it. It is so beautiful, and they don't mine it anymore, and it makes me sad. But this weekend, the Georgia Marble Festival I think it's the 43rd year. You've got to come to downtown Jasper, and you've got to learn a little bit. Now I went through all my photos, and I said, I want to remember some very, very special people. Talk about a special person. I found the last picture I had of the day that Danny Hensley was in the studio. And it was after that period of time, but I thought about it, and I thought I want to remember him as he was when he was healthy and happy, and what an amazing story to have started as what he did at ETC and then created this studio, and to come in and just made it happen. And today we still play the music from the early days in the studio, and the reason we do it is because y'all like it. The reason we do it is I like it, and I watched a whole bunch of it this weekend. And this is when Rick and Lucy first came out with the book, Simply American. And this was not long after laid their precious son Noah to rest, and it's part of ETC's history. That's the coolest thing about ETC. We have such a history with the community. Look at that. Who remembers that wild and crazy gentleman who made pretty amazing barbecue? There is Colonel Poole. We have so much to share with you, and we have started adding it to YouTube, and we've started re-airing some old stuff, because when you look back today, we are a part of history, and we are a part of the future. Now this is kind of how I wish it was still in Ball Ground, because folks, in Ball Ground, there's a lot of traffic now, and it's because a lot of people are moving in. But folks still love to see the mules come to town, and those mules, a couple of times a year, you'll see them come through town, and everybody enjoys it. Everybody slows down, and everybody says, hey, wow, isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? And once upon a time, that's how you traveled in Ball Ground, Georgia. That's how you traveled in Ellijay, Georgia. That's how you traveled if you had to go visit a cousin up in Blue Ridge. And this, one of my favorite weekends, and you see the lady over behind me, her name is Jen Roberts, and Jen Berger now. Today we are going to do a little special, a blippet of going back to her. And this is at Anderson Music Hall before they got the new chairs. This is way back before Sweet Betty Jordan went to be with Jesus. It was way back. And now they've raised a bunch of money and they got a bunch of new comfortable seats, and it's really nice. So plan a concert. And I'll tell you when you plan the concert, October 10th through 18th. There's going to be a whole lot going on there, and there are going to be concerts. There are going to be all kinds of events. There are going to be cooking things happening. They're going to have Hamilton Gardens open. And then before long, it will be the Mountain Country Christmas lights. So there's always something to do. Now, let me tell you, the concert you will want to see, Josh Turner is going to be in concert Friday, October the 17th at Hiwassee, and you will want to see that. Now, this... boy, you talk about a heartbreaker. This was on the General Jackson Showboat, and that's where they filmed a live TV show. And not very long after we were there, we went there with the Barkers. The Barkers were invited to perform on there. And Steve died, and then the program went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, nobody stepped in and took his place, and nobody kept the program going. But it was something everybody loved, and several people we knew had performed there. And now this is the day that we came back to ETC, and Miss Farrell Starnes, she and Ed Singleton were waiting to say welcome back. And what a special day, and what a special couple of dear friends, dear friends. She's gone to be with Jesus. Now this is the kind of cameras we used to have, and we used to go around and film a bunch of stuff, and those are the old cameras. Now we got new cameras, and the new cameras are a little bit smaller, a little bit lightweight, much more high definition. It's very different than when we first started here. I laugh about it because the first equipment we had was pretty old and pretty grainy, and when we watch some of the playbacks, you go, oh no. And I remember the day we got high def, I said, oh no. It's going to show every wrinkle and every spot. Now, do y'all know how long ago that was? That little girl is now an adult, and that just cracked me up. I was talking about the first or second or third time I saw Loretta Lynn up at Hiwassee and had front row seats, and that sweet little girl was there that night. And I had told her, I said, she wanted to know, could she come back and do the show again? I said, sure, if you'll learn the Loretta Lynn song. And so I made a deal with her, and she did. And so that's what it's about. We have seen you grow up in front of us, and I love it. I love every single minute of it. And seeing these kids out on the street now with their own kids, you're like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Because I remember I was thinking about a beautiful little redhead that used to perform here all the time. Now do y'all know that young man? He was leaving, and he was going to Jacksonville. And I said, if you'll stop by, I'll make you some spaghetti. And so I did. And he loved my spaghetti. So, Mr. Cole Heiss, there you go. And is he back in Jacksonville now? Yeah, I think so, yeah. He's in Jacksonville working and took what he learned here at ETC. And if you're interested in learning about television, sometimes they're hiring part-timers and sometimes they're hiring full-timers. But it's a great way to start your career and to learn a little bit about what it takes. Number one, we produce live TV. You know, the only thing missing on live TV is they'd put me a stove right over here. I could produce that cake during the time we do a show. I could put it in the oven. It could come out fresh and hot. And y'all could all sit down here and have a piece of cake with me. But we don't have a stove. We need to get us a stove out here. We've got one in there in the kitchen, but it's kind of in an awkward place to film. It's got windows all around it. So, but we enjoy producing food, and that's how we started, was just doing short segments about food, and then we grew and went into the Atlanta market and did a 30-minute show at WATC and WGGS up in Greenville, and it was all about food. It was about food and gospel music. And that's what we did. And there's the reason I'm here at ETC today. That young man started a little 8-minute program, and he tickled me to death because he said, Lord, I couldn't think of anything to talk about for 8 minutes. And they would replay his loop and re-air what he had just done. And I'm like, are you kidding me? and we've laughed about it a lot. But today, he is still alive and kicking and doing well and traveling and sharing the news of you can survive gastric cancer. You can survive not having a stomach. Now that is a very, very, very special memory for me, because that was on the way to Cherokee, North Carolina on the Nantahala, and that's Ange and Dawn. And Ange was, let's see, probably six or seven. And Dawn was about 4 or 5. Maybe, no, Dawn was about 3 then, yeah. So Ange was about 5. It's crazy how time flies. And then all of a sudden there's Tori, and she's 37 years old now, and you're like, are you kidding me? Where did time go? Where does time go? It just slides, it's just gone. It's just gone. And so take today and look around you and say, what's important to me today? What really matters to me today? What do I want to do to make a difference? And there's a song out, and I can't remember who does it, but it's, if you don't stand for what you believe, you'll fall for anything, and that's the truth. And we need to all learn that and live that. We need to live that, and we need to share that with people. So, but there's sweet Tori, and it's crazy. She was a kid, she was a baby, and then she was an adult, went to college, and now she's 37 years old. And that's one of my favorite photos ever. And I got a message from my sweet granddaughter up in Michigan. And she wrote me the sweetest message. And I said, Christy has been in my life for a long, long time. And she said, Nanny, as long as I can remember, you have always worked all the time, sometimes day and night. Whenever you can, I would love more books. I read every single night. And maybe a long sleeve hoodie or shirt. I love getting packages from you. I love you, Nanny. And she's up in Michigan where it's cold, so often I send her stuff. Now, this was my 60th birthday, and we won't talk about how long ago it was. But looking back, it's like it was yesterday. It's like it was yesterday. Well, it was not. It was not. And this is when we had the green walls up. I like those green walls, but I liked this country set more, and now I can't make up my mind which one I like. So I'm studying, what do I want to do for fall? So I've got some ideas coming up. And I want to tell you guys who love guitars, you're going to get to see a little something new on the set, because you're going to get to see a really, really, really cool guitar or two. So things are going to change just a little bit. But yeah, I do like those green walls. I just can't make up my mind. I actually like the gray walls over there too, but they wash me out and I look peaked. Lord have mercy, I look peaked. So we don't want that. But today is about remembering. And as I watched the special Saturday night with Selena and Diane and Mildred singing, and I thought about precious Selena, she fought so hard to live. She fought so hard to be here for her family and her grandbabies and her husband and her children. She fought so hard to live, but God has a perfect plan, and we have to accept it. But after watching that, I want to share some of their music, and we're going to do that in the near future. You're going to get to see, I know a lot of y'all showed up when they had concerts, and Angel Spirit was just that blessing to so many. And so we want to share that. We want to remember her. And now that is why Laura Mays is Laura Mays, because Laura May really existed in real life. And I said, that's what's so cool about looking back at memories. We have so many amazing women. Now that is why women wear hats. She was stunningly gorgeous. And she is very, very, very much related to the Brackett family. And I'll tell you the secret about it. One day she might have known Calvin Farmer very, very well, and she might have been Mrs. Calvin Farmer. And there is Miss Jenny Byers, and there is sweet, sweet Jenny Byers. And hats, women in Georgia like hats, and they like garden clubs. And they like having parties, and they like dressing up. That's what women still like to do. And so it was kind of sad to me that Laura Mays is closed, and we just need somewhere with a tea room. You see how sweet that is to have a cup of tea? That's what Southern women did. And we taught our children that that's how you do, and you prepare this great event, and you invite your friends over, and y'all just have a good time. And there is Precious Paula. And Precious Paula has celebrated several birthdays since that photo. Happy, happy days to all of us who have survived and the many, many, many precious memories That's what life's about, the precious memories, the very, very, very precious memories. And so put the memories somewhere where you can safeguard them, you can remember them, you can think about those special moments, because you can't recreate them, you can't relive them, and once they're gone, they're gone. Now, there you go. Mr. Ellijay. He loves doing things for other people, and that's when he was doing music for the special needs, special friends of Gilmer County. He did it all the time. He loved it, and the precious lady who arranged that has gone to be with Jesus. And you just think about it. Up until the end of her life, she was giving and giving and giving. That's what we should do. That's what we should all do. So find something today to give, give, give. Now, this, I'm so excited. We're about to open Phase 2, Malone's Pond. We've already sold, I think, 6 lots in Phase 2. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can't wait until it's finished. And the park is looking great, but there's the part that is so important to me. The historical Indian tree is the reason that that park exists. It's the reason that the location was done the way it was. The road was changed. Everything was changed to save that historical tree. And I think it's amazing that they were able to do that, and it just looks beautiful around it now. Looking really good. And there's the man himself. And he'll be here in just a little bit with some guitars, because he's decided he wants to switch out the set a little bit. And I said, go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Because guys love to look at that. Now this, talk about history. This is historical. And this is at the edge of where Smoky Holler and the old school, I can't remember what the school was for first. And then here's the other older church. Get out and ride around and look at the old churches and take some pictures, because you know one day you'll ride through there and they won't be there anymore. So capture a photo of them and just guard it with your life, because a lot of those buildings are not being maintained, they're not being taken care of. One of those churches is still open, which is really awesome. But one of them sadly is in disrepair. And this, one of the saddest things that ever happened in Pickens County, they took down this historical barn, and I love that barn. Love that. My brother's horse stayed there, and they rode out of there all the time. And really, really sad to see that barn come down. And I'm not sure what the reason was for it. They kept saying that it wasn't safe, and it wasn't. And I'm not sure why they couldn't have fixed it or framed it. But anyway, if you haven't ridden down to the Pink Marble Mansion this weekend because of the George Marble Festival, it's a great weekend to ride down and see that beautiful, beautiful pink marble mansion. Because again, Cherokee Rose doesn't exist anymore. So that is some of that marble that they don't mine anymore. There is some still in the ground. I don't know why they don't go get it, but they don't. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to share something with a very special lady. Jen went to be with Jesus. It's been 2 years. It doesn't seem like 2 years to me. It seems like 3 days ago, because I remember the morning after she passed, and I walked out to the car and was talking to her daughter, and she said she's gone, and I was like, what? It still doesn't seem real to me. And I think if you're not there for the end, or if you don't have a funeral like we always had, it's very weird that they're just gone from us. They're gone from us. But today, somebody will get a call, and somebody will lose somebody they love. Somebody will be gone from us. So today, this day, this moment, start creating memories. We're going to do a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is Pretirement.
Smoky Mountain memories about my home in Tennessee. Memories keep calling me home.
Whether you're swimming in the sea, or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Charlene, we got the chicken in the oven. It was fast, it was simple. That's what we're about. Yes. We've been joined by Jen Roberts and Mama Lucy. Everybody knows Mama Lucy began Heart of the Home with me. She came in about a year and a half after we started. It began as a 4-minute segment on ETC3. Yeah. We've come a long way, baby. We've come a long way.
Who would have known?
Who'd have thunk it? We have had so much fun.
And the fun is just starting.
The fun is just beginning. I picked you up. We had a mutual friend. She happened to be producing the 4-minute segments of Heart of the Home.
Exactly.
And you stopped me in Costco one day and said, "Aren't you that?" And I said, "Yes, I am." That happens a lot lately. It is so much fun. And meeting people, you know, when we started this 4-minute thing, it was to raise money for Habitat for Humanity. I did a cookbook that is now sold out twice. We are today beginning the work on our new cookbook. New recipes, new ideas, and new marketing. And that's what, it's going to take a combination of us. Now, one of the things we love are using local restaurants in my recipes. Today, Barbecue, which is over on Highway 53, just off 515 in Jasper, gave us this great chicken and this great pulled pork. He is 12th in the nation in barbecue cooks. Awesome, awesome young man. Good guy.
Wonderful.
He is a good guy. And last week we had Gary from Wolf Creek Canyon. So many people have given me their product to incorporate in my recipes, and that's a great idea. Now, we also have fresh veggies because we live in an area, RNA Farms, incredible vegetables. And they're open year-round, aren't they?
Yes, they are. 12 months out of the year now.
And you are probably their best customer.
I hope so. I intend to be with those tomatoes and bell peppers. And
absolutely.
Not to mention the peaches, the apples, the pumpkins.
Right.
Oh, the pumpkins, the heads of cabbage last year, I am not exaggerating, were huge and absolutely delicious.
We got 11 jars of kraut out of one head of cabbage.
I can believe that.
11 jars of kraut. Now, you know, girls, we've never done a cooking segment that did canning. What do y'all think about that in the near future?
I think we need to do that. There's so many of us that don't. Like my mom canned before I was grown, but she never taught me how, and I don't know how. And I go to the cannery and I look.
You don't know how to can?
No, I don't. So
I know lightning can teach us.
Lightning's going to strike me any moment, but I'm here and I'm ready. I think we want to learn.
Well, I'm with you. I never have
Thank
either.
you.
Well, I love canning, and it is a lost start. But I think on a couple of shows in the near future, before the vegetables are gone, I think we should do some canning, and you can help us with that. We're going to make some jelly. I think that's a good idea.
I think that would be a wonderful idea.
And today we actually have some peach preserves that we're going to drizzle over the chicken that we're baking for Charles. I think that's going to be good. These are peach preserves we made last week, and they were from peaches from RNA. We kept them a couple of days too long, and they were a little bit soft, so we made preserves. They are phenomenal. They are phenomenal. So now, right now, we're going to look back, because we're going to look back at a couple of the short segments and share with y'all where we began. Had a little darker hair. Might have weighed a little bit more. But I've had so much fun. This has been such a joy, such a blessing. We miss Lori. She began producing Heart of the Home. Fred's been with us a year and a half now. And things have changed. Things have changed. We started with the worst lighting in the world. We were in my kitchen, the 1860s farmhouse. It was a hoot. We'd shoot 5 shows a day. We would end at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, dead dog tired and giggling our heads off. And we hope someday to find the excerpts from, we had some outtakes. We had some killer outtakes. Today we've had some pretty good outtakes. Are we going to tell people I opened yogurt and woo, it was all over me? I looked and I was polka dot, it was yogurt. So, you know, there are things that happen that we just start over and go again. But
that's the heart of the kitchen. Kitchen explosions occur.
Yeah, the kitchen is the heart of the home. And our homes are always open to friends and family. And I think that's what makes us as Southern women so different and so unusual. Sure. You know, if something happens, let's cook and let's get together. So now, guys, let's look at a couple of the excerpts from some of the older shows. You will laugh. You will think we were crazy, and we probably were, but we're still here now, 3.5 years later. So sit back and enjoy this. We'll be right back, guys. I'm honored to have Sergeant Major Tony Gayton as my guest. Tony spent last Easter in Baghdad, and I bet you didn't have Oscar Mayer bacon.
No, sure didn't.
And I bet you didn't have, this is a recipe that's in our Habitat cookbook. I don't know if Beverly has one of these or not.
I don't think so.
It was a simple recipe that I've added a couple ingredients to make it festive for the holidays. Now, these ingredients are so simple. It's boneless chicken breast cut into cubes, Oscar Mayer bacon, and I promise you, only Oscar Mayer works. Barbecue sauce, orange marmalade, and brown sugar. That's it. And it is so simple. And I've probably made 10,000 of these things. And once you eat them, everybody loves them. So it's simple. And if you don't like orange marmalade, don't tell anybody it's in it, because it's just that hint of orange. So we're going to begin wrapping these now. Okay, now, Tony, you just take a piece of chicken that we cut with our kitchen scissors, and you wrap it in the Oscar Mayer bacon. The neat thing about this is you can incorporate the children helping you, because you can invite them all to the table, wash their hands good, sit them down, and in just a little while, the family can have a large pan of these done. And then you put them in to cook while you do the Easter egg hunt. Okay. And in about 45 minutes, they are done and delicious. Now, Tony, you like to cook. I understand you like to cook.
I like to cook.
And you like to work outside in the yard?
I like to do anything outside. Yard work, not my favorite thing to do outside, but I tell you, I was actually looking forward to it when I got home.
I bet you were.
Just to be at home and do something around the house.
Now, we're going to cover our chicken bites with brown sugar. And I tell everybody, sinfully cover them in brown sugar. They do need a lot of brown sugar. And for this amount, we're going to use about half of a pack of brown sugar. All right. And we're going to cook these about 20 minutes, and then we're going to add our orange marmalade glaze to it. There you go. All right. Now we're going to combine our orange marmalade and 1.5 cups of barbecue sauce. And then we're going to re-glaze the chicken with that and stick it back in the oven. And then we are going to do 1.5 cups. And everybody knows how I measure. Is that 1.5 cups? So. That's 1.5 cups. And this just creates a glaze. Okay, the chicken bites have cooked for about 20 minutes on 350. Okay, Tony, I just want you to start pouring the glaze over the chicken. Okay. There you go. Wow. Oh, that smells so good. That hint of orange is just wonderful. We're going to stick this back in the oven for about 25 minutes. Okay. And when they come out, they'll be crispy and wonderful, wonderful. Well, hot, hot, hot. We're going to have to let it cool a couple of minutes. Okay. But now, what does it smell like?
Hey, it smells delicious. It smells like a nice orange barbecue sauce.
It does. It does. And it's funny, but it's just that little tiny hint of orange. And even for a soldier who's not sure he likes orange marmalade, and a Southern girl who is sure she loves orange marmalade, I think we're going to enjoy this.
All right.
Wow. That delicious. Looks great. And I want you to taste it. I want you to remember, though, what's the word I just taught you?
Hot.
Hot. Hot.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Good. Subtle. What does it taste like? A little bit of orange?
Barely orange in there.
Good, good.
Very tasty.
And even an orange marmalade guy who didn't like orange marmalade, this is a winning recipe. This is a winning recipe. Thank you so much for tuning in to Heart of the Home. Thank you for supporting our troops. See you next week. Easter is just around the corner. Enjoy your family. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, guys, was that funny? Probably so. Some good recipes, some good ideas. A lot of crazy things have happened in these few years, but such fun. And this job actually led to our new job at ETC3. Charlene and I do that. I do it 5 days a week. You do it a couple of days a week. And do we have fun?
Oh, we have a ball.
We have more. We have a ball. We have a ball. And Jen showed up on the set today. What's the best tool in a kitchen? Your fingers.
Your fingers.
Your fingers. Jen showed up on the set today with Sherry Martin blizzards. And for y'all who don't know what a Sherry Martin blizzard is, it is the best. It is from the Dairy Queen. And today we raised money for our community. Sherry Martin blizzard is the ice cream and the chocolate that you dip the cones in and the wet nuts and barely mix it up. Now guys, I'm going to challenge each of you. Take that blizzard and turn it into a pie recipe. Choose a crust.
Fun.
Each of you do whatever you want to do. Charlene, can I have some of that barbecue? And keep in mind, this is from Bubba's on Highway 53 in Jasper. I want each of you to take the Sherry Martin blizzard, and I want you to do something, you know, either make a cookie with some of that in the middle with the top on it, like a little ice cream sandwich, or make a pie and refreeze it, or use it with a simple angel food cake and layer it. What about that?
I think there's so many things that you can do because that blizzard is just wonderful.
Phenomenal. It is to die for. Now, Mama Lucy, can you tell us how to make your chocolate syrup that you made for me that I love? Because I think that would be good across the top of an angel food cake with that blizzard.
Yes, I can. I may not be.
Is it simple enough?
It's very simple.
Let's put it on the website.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
That sounds good to me. I think everybody would like it.
Let's add that to the website.
We'll use the dark chocolate and the light, just the regular chocolate.
Right. I think we need to do that because some people, angel food cake is a great dessert, and if you just drizzle it with that chocolate, and we've done some things with the cream cheese that your store sells, you know, just something simple.
Right.
And working moms, you know.
Simple.
You got to be simple. You've got to be because, you know, we're back in school. Football season is starting. Kids are busy. Moms are busy. Dads are a little bit demanding. You got to have dinner. You got to have dinner.
Let me tell you how simple that recipe is. Sherry called me one day. She was on her way home from shopping. I had it ready before she got
Y'all, 17 years ago. How does the time fly so fast? That was 17 years ago. And at that point in time, we'd already been doing TV 4 or 5 years. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. When I look back, I think about Rhonda Thomas brought me in to do her Flavors of the South. Hans Rupert was there that night. That was our first experience with television. And I just said, yeah, I think I like this and I think it'll be fun. And however, 20 years later, we're still doing it. Are you kidding me? And still love every single minute of it. So today, I chose some very special things to go back to the first times that you saw somebody that y'all love here on ETC on the set. When I talked him into doing this, I said, you know it's live. And he said, well, what if I mess up? I said, it'll be okay. Live TV, it's okay if you mess up. It makes it fun, it makes it easy, it makes it just, it's great. So we're going to take you now to some music, just little blippets of music by the man who had never done live television until I said, why don't we try that? And he did. Here we go.
I earned his love through discipline, a thundering velvet hand. Its gentle means of sculpting souls took me years to understand. The leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just the living legacy to the leader of the band. Now this. can't go on and on, holding things together with you gone.
Okay, it was on this day in 1943 that my daddy left here to go to World War II. My Uncle Emmett, his brother, walked with him from Pumpkin Center all the way downtown to watch him get on that train over at the depot and leave here for war. Emmett said he was scared to death he'd never come back home. Emmett said it was raining that evening, and he said he cried when Daddy left out on the train. And then later on after that, I wrote a little song about it. It's called Baby Blue. I'm looking down from a hilltop at the lights of my hometown. This place is all so different now, and they closed the pool room down. That old wooden bridge I fished from is replaced with man-made stone. The swimming pool and our old school, like you, they both are gone. I keep thinking about the summer of 1969. Long ago and far away, when I thought you were mine. For better or worse, thick or thin, so much has changed since then. My crazy heart spins round and round when I dream of way back when the rock and roll were playing that old silver Chevrolet, and A.M. rock was all we knew back then. Big brown eyes, short Levi's, I remember you, but it's all over now, baby blue. Now the river flows so gently from the mountains to the sea, and the track that took my dad to war in 1943 still stretches by the depot like so many years before. But like you, the train's on a different track. It don't come here no more. And the rock and roll would play that old silver Chevrolet, and A.M. rock was all we knew back then. Big green eyes, short Levi's, I remember you, but it's all over now, baby blue. Red wall tires, western flyers, and 8-track Suzuki. It's all over now, baby blue. It's all over now, baby blue.
Okay, a little taste of the old programs with Mr. Ellijay. And before long, you're going to look back here and see some of his different guitars, because he's on his way with some different guitars. I do believe, let's see if he's replied yet. He said, would it hurt your feelings if I changed out those guitars? I think people would like to see some new ones. I said, no, that'd be great. So let's see, is he on his way yet? Why, don't know yet, hadn't answered. But when we look at the music started this studio. If it hadn't been for the Parton family, if it hadn't been for Ebenezer Church and all the churches who came in, if it hadn't been for the Cantrell family who sat on the porches on Sunday afternoons and created music, if it hadn't been for the local music, ETC probably would not exist. And as we look past and we look into the archives, it's so crazy when we think about Pam Cavender was here over 20 years ago interviewing the elderly people of the community, interviewing the people who made a difference in the community. All of that is in our archives, and it can never be replaced. So, you know, if something were to happen and we lost everything, it's somewhere in a cloud so we can get it back, we hope. But that's the cool thing about technology. When we started here and we had those big, huge cameras, it was honestly, it was terrible. You couldn't get a good focus. It was grainy. It was not good. Today, it's so much better. We are learning. But the one thing we have to learn is we cannot recapture that moment. So it is so cool that we have ways to store this stuff, to keep it on a hard drive, to put it away and to have it. And as I see the things that Trace is dragging out, he has drug out some stuff I forgot all about. And when I look at, I remember, I'm trying to remember the year that Ann Parks was sitting in a rocking chair here on the set, and she would talk to you. She loved to do storytelling, and she would talk to folks. She's been gone several years now, and that just doesn't seem real to me, because she was always a part of the community in Pickens County. She was always a part of going to the school and visiting with the kids. She was always a part of what we knew as children. We can't replace those loved ones that are gone, but thank goodness ETC has all the archives. And one day, Mr. Ellijay and I will be gone. We will be gone. Jesus will call us home. And then they will have all the archives of what we have produced. When we think about it, over 22 years so far of just some music, some cooking, some conversation, just different things. But one day it will be one of those things that can't be replaced. And I think one day the guys and I were talking about Martin Luther King's funeral, and I was talking about the fact that we were there, and they said, well, you know, there's some old archives online somewhere. And we pulled it up, and it was people standing within 2 feet of where I was, because I remember the people and I remember where we were standing. And I thought, that is a piece of history, and wouldn't it be amazing if that photo of us was in there? But that's the difference. That was all in black and white. That was a long, long time ago, and today we're in high definition. The things that have happened in our world over the weekend, the high definition when you saw that church in Michigan as it exploded, as the gunman started shooting in that sanctuary, that is real. That is real time. And I don't know if it makes our world a better place or a worse place, but we have seen some horrific things in real time. That will be part of tomorrow's history. That will be part of what we look back at and say, oh my gosh, why did that man do that? Why did the guy open fire in the bar in North Carolina? We don't know. We can't answer these questions. But the good thing about the old days, we didn't see any of that stuff. Now daily on live television, we are seeing disasters happen. Thank goodness, you know, at our church, somebody is on guard with a gun at our church. Think about that. Did we ever think walking into Mount Vernon Baptist Church in Dawson County that anybody, all the guys had their rifles in the back of their pickup trucks and their trucks were unlocked, because that's the way the world used to be. But now you have armed guards at our churches because we are trying to protect our freedom of speech and our freedom of religion. that's crazy that we have to do this. And I'm not sure how, I don't know why this man picked the church he picked. I don't know why he picked the moment to do this he did. I don't know if it had anything to do with their religion, his non-religion. I have no idea. But I know that it played out in front of us in live TV. So good thing, bad thing. I kind of like going back to the good stuff. I kind of like going back to the olden days. I kind of like living the way we used to live when we felt safe and secure. And you could pull up on anybody's porch on a Sunday afternoon and say, howdy, neighbor. Just passing by and wanted to stop and speak to you. Now somebody pulls up and you're like stranger danger because you don't know what they might want. You don't know what they might be looking for. You don't know how they might harm you. It's a very different life. Let's go to some of the music that Dwight talks about the way it used to be in Ellijay. We look at the music he's written. It's all about this city. It's all about the people. It's all about the memories. And oh my gosh, would I love to have one of those chili dogs from the pool room? Oh yeah. Can somebody create one and bring it to me, please? That would be awesome. But we're looking back at that. None of that exists anymore. The life that we knew and the life that we loved doesn't exist. And we have to create our own space in this crazy world today. And I think the thing that is happening now, as people return to church, as people return to prayer, as people understand that we have one answer to all our problems, and it's right up above. And that's the answer to all our problems. So maybe it's time that we turn back to Him. We're going to go now to some of His music. I don't know what Tracy's going to play for you. I will tell you, I have favorites. Let's see if he chooses one of them.
The bank says it's foreclosing and the pickup needs repair. The LP tank's on zero and my wheel is almost there. The hope I had left with you when you walked out the door. I would say things can't get worse, but I've been wrong before. The postman brought a letter. He said he needs my signature. He don't know you had to go and the way you left me here. I told him I don't love you, oh, but the Lord knows I still do. And He knows just what I feel inside and the things I'm going through. My brother said there's a bottle that'll make this go away. I could drink until it's over or until my dying day. I don't care anymore, and I could hope it don't get worse again, but I've been wrong before. Boss man called from work today. He left a message on my phone. called in to talk to him to see what's going on. They're laying off across the plant, employees by the score. I would say things can't get worse, but I've been wrong before. And I could turn to the bottle and make this go away. I could drink until it's over, or until my dying day. I could do these things and tell myself I don't care anymore, and I could hope it don't get worse again, but I've been wrong before. The country's going straight to hell on a highway paved with hope. And if we keep playing around with this, we'll hang by our own rope.
That song about says it. It says exactly what the world is in today. We are in a mess. I want to remind you, if you're in the state of Georgia, there are 18 beautiful lakes that you can go on vacation. You don't have to go to Florida for a vacation. Check out Lake Chattooga, check out Lake Burton, check out Lake Sinclair, check out Lake Lanier, check out one of my very, very favorites is Lake Hartwell. So go up to Lake Hartwell. Check out the lakes in the state that we now proudly call home, and get out and just spend some local time, local money, local energy. Pack your picnic and head out to one of the many, many beautiful lakes. And guess where the closest lake is to us? Carter's Lake. So beautiful, beautiful lake, one of the deepest lakes in Georgia, and get out and enjoy these mountains. It is free, it is yours, it is fun, and it is one of those things that every single day make us understand, why did we choose the mountain life? Because it's the best life. I hope you will join us again, and don't forget, we will be going to YouTube. Please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and remember that the good life really is, it is what we're looking for, and it's right here in Gilmer County, in Pickens County, in Fannin County, all the way to Turtletown, Tennessee, and down into Cherokee County. We'll see you again soon, where rivers, mountains, and good friends meet.